I'm Chef Heather from Johnson & Wales, and today we're going to show you some tools used in the kitchen. First off, we're going to show you proper knife construction, knife skills, and knife safety. As you can see, there are a variety of different tools and knives for use in the kitchen. We always want to make sure we're using the proper tool for each job.
This is a melon baller. It is used to scoop out smooth balls of many foods, such as cheese, butter, and melons. The scoop range in size and shapes, and sometimes have scalloped edges. This is a zester. It is used to remove tiny strips from the outer surface of citrus peels, which can add visual interest and flavor to foods. This is a vegetable peeler. It is commonly used to shave the skin off of fruits and vegetables. It can also be used to make delicate garnishes, such as carrot curls and chocolate curls. This is a tournée knife. Similar in size to the paring knife, the tournée knife has a curved blade that looks like a bird's beak. See the resemblance of a bird's beak. It is used to trim potatoes and vegetables into shapes that look like small footballs. This is a paring knife. The paring knife has a rigid blade that is only 2 to 4 inches long. You can use the knife to pare a thin outer layer or peel from fruits and vegetables. To pare means to trim off. This is a boning knife. It's a small knife with a thin, angled 5 to 7 inch blade. The boning knife is used to remove bones from meat, fish, and poultry, and trim fat from meat. The blade may be rigid or flexible. The rigid blades are used for heavier work. Flexible blades are used for the lighter work. Just like the fillet knife. This is a fillet knife that has an 8 to 9 inch blade with a pointed tip. The blade may be rigid or flexible. It is mainly used to fillet fish. And this is the chef's knife, also called a French knife. It is the most important knife in the chef's toolkit. This all-purpose knife has an 8 to 14 inch triangular blade. It can be used for peeling, trimming, chopping, slicing, and dicing. The 10 inch chef knife is used for general work in a commercial kitchen.
So after sealing your knife, you're going to want to clean off the edges and get rid of any excess metal shavings before you move on to cutting your product. There are many different cuts we can do, but we always want to start with curling our fingertips underneath so we don't cut them. Your middle finger you can use as a guide to create a round cut. As such, always keep the tip of your knife down on the cutting board, and then we can move on. You do it much the same way, guiding with your fingers and always keeping your fingers back from the blade. So this would be an example of a bias cut, and here's a good example of a round. So next, we're going to work on a julienne and a dice. First off, you want to create a flat edge on your carrot so it's safer and it's not going to roll around on the board. Square up your edges because this cut is a square cut. So if you start with a square, you're going to get a much more square end result. After you've squared off your carrot, so you have a flat surface to work with on every edge, you're going to start by making a cut that's about 1/8 of an inch thick all the way through. You want to do it in one fluid motion. So to make a julienne, it's 1/8 by 1/8 inch. And there's your julienne cut. To turn this into a dice cut, you turn your julienne the other way, square it up, and keeping your fingers curled under, you make even-sized cuts to get a small dice. Like a carrot, we can also julienne strips of onion. To do that, much the same, you're just going to hold your fingers back and create small cuts. In strips which turn to be half rounds, but they're also known as a julienne string. Once again, I'm Chef Heather from Johnson & Wales, and I'd like to thank you for being with us today. And I'd like to leave you with a few tips.
Always curl your fingers back to prevent serious injury and accidents. Always use the right tool for the right job. And practice communication, safety first.